afternoon or evening. I am using a QuickTime right here. I'm using QuickTime to make the screen movie. So, and it goes up to, it shows me under QuickTime, I've done a new screen recording. And so that's what's happening right now. So let's make an Adobe movie. So the first thing, I'm going to make a title page. So in my Photoshop, I have a file, and my Photoshop file is 1920 by 1080. So this is the standard video frame size that is used. So I'm going to make my file that size. So I have, hello. So I already made this. So I have a piece of art that I put on here, and I've already put colors on it. So I actually had something that had a lot more colors to it. And then in filters, what I did is I did something that I use all the time. And it is, where is it? Filter gallery. It's called Cutouts. So a cutout under artistic cutout it gives me all these different options of things. And I've already done it, so it's not going to give me that much. But this is one of the main things that I'm using all the time to simplify shapes. Use it in my chalk drawings. You can see it doesn't really work at the moment on this piece. But that's how I got this to be all blocky, which I like. And I don't want it. What I want to do is I want to put titles on top of it so I can see it. So here's my titles. So I made a title for this. But you can see if you squint your eyes, you can't really see it. So I'm going back to this layer and changing my opacity, right? And my cheat is I hit my V key, and then I just hit it down with numbers of 1 to 9. So there's 0, there's 1. You know, I'm going to look at something, and a lot of it, again, what I do is I squint or I make it small. So imagine that it's on a television screen across the room. You know, can I read that? You know, so that's not going to work. So it's all about contrast. So that's fine at the moment. So I go back to full screen. I've already done my rule of thirds because I just use it all the time. And so you can see that I could move this around wherever I wanted to, and Photoshop's going to give me some pointers on whether it's aligned. So you can see the little lines that's showing up on both sides. So there it's aligned. There it's aligned in the center. So I'm either going to lay it down on the middle lines. There's a bunch of different. I could do the Premiere right through the middle. I could split it. I could make this brighter if I need to see it more. And I want to put this little bird here. So where am I going to put the bird? I can put a smaller bird or a bigger bird. Let's do this bird here, and then I'm going to move my text layer up. And I'm just going to sit it. I'll just split it right in the middle. So it's like that. And then my name's in the middle. I could, make things larger, smaller, make space between these two, the whole thing with text and type. I can make my bird, what is it? It's 30%. Oops, that's my lettering. I actually like because I use it as a teaching tool, I actually leave it on there. So then I do my Command Option Shift save, or because I do where is it called? I do this thing right here, save for the web. You can also just save as. No, I can also just save as a copy, and I want to make sure that it's a JPEG and not a Photoshop file. So I'm going to do a JPEG, and I'm going to put it, I already have a folder on my desktop, and it's called Premiere First Movie. And I've already made these, but you can see, then you're going to name it something. I've already named it intro text and end text. So name it something and put it into a folder. And then I'm also going to do an end title piece. So the end title piece, I just need to move my bird. So I've got websites. I just threw them in there. You can put your name. You can put anything. You can put end title. Basically we're just creating some still art that we're going to mix in with our video. So make that piece, save it out. Save it out as it doesn't need to be a high quality, 80%, which is, it doesn't have to be max. It can be in video because everything's getting, what's the word when you export it? It gets modified. So now you've got that. Next is to open up Premiere. So we've got Premiere happening and Premiere Pro. So what I want to do is I want to do a new project. So a new project, and you can title it anything or keep it untitled. First movie, anything you want. And then you can see where it's going to save it, right? So right now it's saving it in my users, Mark Wagner documents, Adobe Premiere. So I just leave it as a default, but I want to know where it is, just in case. When I open up Premiere, it's going to ask me if I want to open up an old file, and it'll automatically go to anywhere I want. An important thing too is that wherever you have your source material, you don't want to be moving it around, because every time you then open up a Premiere, and if you've moved it around, Premiere is going to ask you, like, where is it? Where'd you put it? So it's best to actually have a folder somehow inside of here. So here's my hard drive. My hard drive is my users in here. So it's going to be under Documents, under Adobe, under Premiere. So it's things like that in there. This is my subfolder. So in that subfolder is all the artwork and everything else. So I could go in here to Chabot and stick it into a class folder. So that's also a great place to have it. So I'm going to say OK. So now I have, here's my Premiere. So the videos that we've already watched are all about what's happening here. The main thing is that I want to import into this window here the files that I'm going to be working on. And I'm literally working on like 3 or 4 files. So in my folder here, I have 2 pieces of art and a video. And you can see how I named this video. I actually named it on the date. So I said this is a storm, and I did it on October the 12th, 2021. So that's how I date stuff. So I put a date. Instead of writing a whole date out, all I need is month, day, and year, and another title to it. So if it didn't have storm, I really wouldn't know what that was. So I'm going to take all 3 of these. I could either copy and paste with the Mac. I'm just dragging and dropping. I'm not sure what it does on a PC. Sorry about that. And then I'm going to kind of go a full screen. Let's see what happens if I hit my green button. Now I just want to call it real estate. I want to get as much happening here as possible. So I'm going to start off with my intro. And I can change this to pictures and see if I want it. So here's my, right, because I toggled back and forth between this and this. And I can even make it larger. My first piece is an intro, so I'm going to drag it and I drop it into here. And hello. Interesting. So I guess I'm gonna, because I have a glitch, I'm not sure what's making this glitch. It's not letting me drag anything over. So I'm gonna have to pause this video and see what's happening. Sure, I think one of these was weird. Um, I just put this on editing. So now let's do I'm going to bring in a piece of my text piece. By default, it's going to put it on the visual 1 layer, but I'm going to pop it up here because I'm going to put my movie underneath it. So it's in a hierarchy about like what's on top is seen first. And you can see it fits into my screen perfectly. That's exactly what I want to do. If it's too large, then I'm gonna have to come over here and I click on my piece and I'm going to hold down my control button, and I'm going to come down here and I'm going to do like this set frame size, things like that. So it'll change it. So there's my first piece, and I can make it smaller or for more time. So I'm not sure how. Let's see what's it set on. So if I go into control, oh, it looks like it's set about like 3 seconds, right? It's not very long. And I just have to say, as an artist and an art teacher, like I know a little bit about lots, but I don't know tons. So I'm not a big, I've made videos and I've made movies. But anybody who's getting into this world is going to know so much more than I do. It's ridiculous. So I'm just going to leave that the way it is right now. Next thing is I'm going to bring in my video, right? So my video is it's split. You can see it. The top part is the visual, and then the bottom part is the audio. So I'm going to bring that in, and here is, I'm going to make this larger because I'm going to want to look at this some more. Here's my audio. So let me turn off my music here for a moment. So let's see what this sounds like. And you can't see it because the title was on top of it. So I'm going to make this smaller. I can either use my plus or minus key to make it smaller. Give me an idea. I want to be able to see the whole thing. Where's my other scroller that's going to show me size? It's hiding at the moment. So you can see my video is smaller than my whole frame. So I don't want it to be that small. I want it to be a full frame piece. This is my art studio in a storm.
That's funny. The wind blew the smoke in.
Right. So over here you can see some of the sound of it.
Good to know.
Okay. So I want this piece to be bigger, to full screen. So I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to do my control, click on it again, and I'm going to scroll down to set frame size, scale to frame size. Let's see what that does. Click on that, boom, and then it makes it full screen. Now this video could possibly be larger. I'm not sure why it's so small. I was thinking I shoot around that size, or I shoot bigger. I have to check my phone settings for that. So this is a preview window. It's not necessarily how it will look all the whole time. So there's my piece, and let's see how long do I want my opening titles. So because I can't see that, there's a couple different ways to work with this. I can move my whole piece over, so then it actually just goes from, so here's the intro, there's nothing happening, and then it goes right into that. So actually I might do that because then I'm going to put a transition here, and maybe I'll put this underneath it. So let's actually do that transition. So let's see if I can find it. So it's gonna be over here under effects and video transitions and dissolve. And why did my whole piece disappear now? Do not know. So I'm going to come back to editing. there it is there. Let's move some of this. I don't really need that as much. I'm not going to be moving stuff. Learning. So that's fine. Let's go under libraries again, see what I can find. Nope, not libraries. I want effects. So that's so interesting that it made me lose my piece. So that makes me question, like, what the heck's happening here? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna save this out. So I'm gonna save it. So there it saved it. And can I go under effects and have it not lose it? Darn, what happened? Oh, that's what was happening before. All right. So I might just bail on that. So when I would come into a problem like this, then what I do is I get online and I type in, I try to figure out if I can put it into a couple words, and then I type in the problem. So my problem is I've got, I want to have this window over here, window. Let's see if I can do it that way. It's all about, like, how do I, oh look, it's over here. What's this one doing? So usually it's over here. So I'm going to work with this. So here's a dissolve, and I want to do a cross dissolve. So I want to go it from here to here, back and forth. So I put a cross dissolve, I lay it right on that piece, and then I go back and look at it. So what's it going to look like? So it looks like it, I could almost bring it out some more. So see how I'm moving things around? So this cross dissolve, I actually want to make it longer. So right now you see the duration of it is 1. And let's see if I can. So here's, I clicked on it twice, and I just want to make this longer. So it's all in seconds and everything else. I'm going to make that 2, see what it does. See how it makes this longer. So there's my dissolve. Okay, great. And then I'm going to grab my, so all of this is a little, so the Adobe just updated itself, and so it's moving some things around that I'm not familiar with. So I'm trying to hack them through while we're talking into this video. So I'm going to do an end, I'm going to do an ending, and I'm going to bring it back up on the different level. So my titles are above, and I can even do this, and then I'm going to, yeah, it's changed my windows. How interesting. No, don't do that. So video transitions, I'm going to go back to the dissolves are pretty much the main ones. I'm going to do a cross dissolve here, stick it on top of that. How does that work? I scroll across here, what they call a scrubber. And it goes into my sound stuff. So that's fine. So then a couple things is I want my sound, I don't want this sound to be so loud. I'm actually going to bring in some music really quick.
The wind blew the smoking.
So the next thing I want to do is I want to bring in some music into this piece. So I'm going to go into the iTunes where I actually have a piece of music that I made. So I don't have to deal with copyrights on it. Sounds like this. It's an ambient piece. You could grab, let's just grab this and then we can come back and look at it. And watch what I'm going to do. Drag, drop. So there it is. I just brought in sound. Now, if I look at my piece and I can see how long it is, what is it? Is it?
Good to know.
It's really a couple seconds, this movie. And you can see how long my song is, right? My song is that long. So you could actually find a song that fits it of title. by doing this. You could go under time and you could say, oh, my piece is 3.5 minutes. You know, what else is this way? If you're making a piece, that's not for sale, you can use any kind of music. Sometimes if you throw it up on YouTube, YouTube's gonna question it or not let you use it. And you can get royalty. You can pay to get some songs that are shorter. You can write your own music. It's a whole nother world of copyright. So one is this song's too long, right? So if it's what I'm just going to do is I'm going to grab the corner here and bring it up to the end of that. So now this is all sitting here together. Hit my plus key. So here's my small piece. So my audio then is, if I play them at the moment, they're going to be like this. So my audio is too loud here. And so here's my audio line, and this is how I'm going to adjust it. There's different ways to adjust it, but I'm going to bring it in and out. One is it's too loud. Here's like, you can see it's too loud, so it's going to distort. So I'm going to actually bring it. I still want it in there because it adds something, but I don't want it to be the main thing. So, and I'm not sure if I need to have, I'm talking there. I'm not sure if I need that. So here's the other thing then, is I'm going to put music on and off. In that I'm going to fade it in. So here on this piece is, as I open up this piece of audio, let's see what I do. I'm going to click on a keyframe right here. So I click on a keyframe and it gives me a little dot. So how can I see that better? I don't have this way to zoom in on this. It gives me a little dot, and then I'm going to do another keyframe and it gives me another dot. I'm going to come back to the first one and lower it. So then this is how music comes in, sound comes in. So it comes in really smoothly, and you can't even tell that it's there. And then I'm going to do the same here. So instead of it ending abruptly, I'm going to put a keyframe there and a keyframe here. Oops, I went off my video, so I can't do it. Keyframe there, and then take it in and out. So that's how I do a lot of music. We'll look at a little bit of music. And then same on this piece, make this longer. I also want to add, the music's okay coming in. I want to add I click on it, so make sure it activates it. I'm going to add a keyframe here, and I'm going to add a keyframe at the end, and then I'm going to lower my sound. So at the end, then it's going to go. And I must have pushed something because I can't hear anything. Okay, so there's another one of the problems. It's like, where did it go? Okay, there it is, right? So it's a little bit about tweaking everything. And so I'm going to have this fade out a little bit more. And then I'm actually going to, I'm going to dip to black right here at the very end of my title. So go back and check out the end. Okay, so good enough for union work, as they say. So there's the piece that I made. I'm going to click up on this one. Where did and have it to overlapping. There it is. So I've got some stuff hiding. I'm going to bring this down even more this way. Okay, so now I have this piece, and it looks like this, right? It's going to go there, it's going to go across to this piece, it's got some music, and then it's going to exit. And it's at, what, it's not even a minute? Okay, so there's my movie. I'm good with it. I'm going to save it. Now I'm going to export it. So this is the last part of this, is the export. I'm going to export it. I'm going to export the media. There's all these different ways that we could do this, and we're going to do it the most simple. And we're going to set this format to this H.264. That's the standard that everybody's using in the film thing, the film world. I could name it something here, or I could name it later. I'm gonna, this is Premiere first, and I set it up on the desktop, and then these are my other options. I'm gonna imagine that I'm throwing this up on YouTube, and so remember our piece was 1080 by 1920. I'm gonna set it to that. I could set it smaller to make it export smaller. And I usually do the stuff for school down around 720, so it doesn't take so long. I'm going to actually do that. I'm going to set it up to 720. There's a lot of other things that you could do to be looking and moving around stuff, but this is the simplest. And then when I do export, it's going to start telling me how long things are going to take. So let's see if this is actually doing the whole thing right now, or if this is doing a preset. Oh, it did it already. Well, that's crazy. It was such a small movie with a lot of small stuff. So sometimes sometimes it'll take an hour to compress, and you really kind of have to walk away from it and do other things. And so let's see where it is. So here, it's supposed to be right here. Here's the movie. There you go. That's the homework assignment.